So about 50 miles, maybe 100 miles outside of Jackson, we're going through some winding turns and not doing anything crazy. At this point in time, the Chevelle's got about 11,000 miles on it. We passed this Ford Ranger that's going really slow. And so there's a whole bunch of cars behind us, and I'm probably the second or third in line. I believe I'm following Steve Leggins in his 37 Ford. And I get on it to pass this dude in the Ranger. And all of a sudden, we start hearing this howling noise. And it's a little howling noise. It's just whoo, a little bit. And I'm like, what the heck? Why would something happen all of a sudden? So I pull over, try to see if there's anything leaking, see if there's anything hot, see if there's anything you can do. Realize that the cars with cool stance are really low and it's really hard to lay under the car in the middle of nowhere. But we put it in gear. We realize there's no slop in the rear end. Seems fine, just making some noise. So we proceed on. Well, now the howling slowly gets worse and worse and worse to a point where it's bad. And we're in the middle of nowhere. There's not a whole lot we can do at this point. And we make a left-hand turn, and the howling completely goes away, which is the weirdest thing ever. So we proceed down this road for a couple miles, and kind of blown away that the noise has gone away. So we make a right-hand turn, and we hear some clunking noise, and the noise is now back. So we proceed up to this other road. We make a left-hand turn onto that road. And everything's fine, short of these clunking noises and the howling noise that's progressively, it's set into where there's obviously something going on. And so we get onto the road, we make a left-hand turn, loud clunking noise, the noise goes away. Make another turn, the noise is back. And it's obviously in the differential because it's as you make a turn. So we follow it all the way into Jackson, stay in the hotel, try to figure out what to do, because we figure it's something in the differential. And on Friday night in Jackson, Wyoming, there's really not a whole lot you can do to find a 35 spline, 410 gear ratio, true track differential unit and swap it out in the parking lot of the hotel. And we're filming this video. So the next morning, we get up, we're just gonna try it. There's a chase truck. I mean, what the heck can happen? So we leave from there, we drive through, we get fuel, we go to the Grand Tetons, take some pictures through there, go down these roads, and the howling, it just seems to be howling. There's no slop in anything, and it's not really like a worn ring gear howling as much as a just really loud whirling noise that is pretty annoying. So we proceed through and go through the whole day of the event. Go through Yellowstone, see some moose, see some bears, see some pretty lakes, see a bunch of really cool things as we're going through there. Stop for lunch somewhere, can't remember where we went. We stopped somewhere. Went to the fuel station in Yellowstone and started a car show there because there was other participants there. There's other things that are going on. And people in Yellowstone are like, man, why are all these cool cars in Yellowstone? And we explain to them what we're doing, and man, that sounds fun. And so as we proceed through the rest of the day, we end up in, I believe it was Cody, Wyoming. And towards the end of the day, the whirling is now turned into screaming. And we are proceeding through some tunnels, and there's people 3 cars behind us that when you're on the gas, anything above 65 is like a dog whistle. It's just terrible. And so we proceed to go into the rest of the tour and bring it into Cody, Wyoming. We find a place to change the gear oil, thinking that there's probably a whole bunch of metal in there, and there's not. It's just the oil's burned to a crisp. And so we're pretty much at the conclusion that the differential in the middle has taken a dump inside the differential. No idea why, no idea what's going on, no idea why there's not metal in the oil, but it's terrible sounding and it's loud. And so we find this really cool U-Haul truck and load the car on the trailer in the middle of the dip in the parking lot, because those cars that you build with the stance that are cool, that have 4 inches of ground clearance, are hard to load on a U-Haul trailer. And so we spend the next couple days still enjoying the road tour, all the camaraderie, all the fun, all the sights from a U-Haul van. And we make our way all the way into Loveland, Colorado. And we are still enjoying the show. We stop at Pinky's. We go to a couple other restaurants and stuff as we're there. And the plan was to fly out the next day, but some plans changed and we were able to go home at that point and leave our cars there to then have them transported home. We'd wanted to go on one day further, but it just really wasn't in the cards.